Good morning, everybody. Got my bulletproof coffee. I'm awake. My eyes are open anyway. I'm not awake yet. Cows are eating their breakfast. And as you can see, I had a major catastrophe yesterday. This old tractor sitting here behind me was my dad's last tractor I ever had. And I grew up on these things. This is a 1466 International with turbo, open air, no cab. This is old school. Well, I would say it's not antique, it's old school. I think it's a 1974 is when it was manufactured, built. And when Dad and I farmed, we had 1066 Internationals. Now those were the ones to have. Those are the ones to have right now. But I was probably 4th, 5th grade. Dad finally cut me loose out in the field, and that was back when we used to disc and harrogate, plow fields, all that stuff, and prepare the soil for planting. And I can remember running them tractors out there in the field in the spring, probably, I don't know, 10, 12 hours a day. And I'd come off them tractors just covered in dust and dirt, and go home, take a shower, and just tan as all could be. Well, sometimes burnt. It turned into a tan. Well, yesterday I was mowing hay, and I've replaced the pin that I showed you on the 3-point arm link. And I think what had happened is the pin came out. That made the mower unstable, tilt over one side, and I was mowing a wash, and the mower dug into the dirt and then snapped the PTO shaft. So come back to the house and get the PTO off and make some phone calls, and the only one that the dealer can find is up in about 30 miles north of here at the warehouse. $780 for a PTO shaft. Now this is the whole thing with the cover on it and everything. If I just wanted the front half of the PTO shaft, it was $1,000. So you might as well just go ahead and buy the whole thing. But it'll be at the dealer at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll get it put back on, get it put back together, and go back to the fields. It's part of life, I guess. I'm very thankful for my neighbors that I help mow hay, because I help them out. And I don't know, it's probably close to 80 acres, 100 acres that I mow for them up on a north farm, and probably a little bit more than that, you know. And then I have access to 7, 8, maybe 10 acres right here by the house, and going to try and get a hold of another field that's probably about 5 acres. And when I help them and get mine laid down at the same time, they come through, bale all their stuff, and then they come through and rake and bale all my stuff. So that's how I get my hay. And nowadays, that's kind of hard to unhear. That's kind of unheard of, you know, neighbors helping neighbors. A lot of my neighbors that live right here by me will wave or something like that, but that's about it, you know. Anyway, enough of that. Back when we farmed, back in the 80s, you know, everything was square bales. And we had a crew, probably 5, 6, 8 guys, high school guys. 2 of them out in the field on the hay rack, guy running the baler, and probably a crew of 5, maybe 6 guys up in the barn. And my job was to drive the loads from the field to the barn back and forth and unload. And help unload, I should say. We had a guy that would unload the hay off the hay racks. And very, very hot work. But now almost everything is big round bales. I used to square bale a lot of the ground, at least one cutting. And it's hard to find a good used baler because you never know what's wrong with it. It was always nice to have 100, 150 square bales in the barn when I had horses to feed in the wintertime. Yeah, I used to have horses. That's another story. So anyway, it's probably about 7 o'clock, and got to be up at the dealership at 8, pick up the PTO shaft, and get it put back together. So birds are chirping, and sun's coming up, of course, as you can see. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I got my yard shoes on. How you like them? I don't even know what brand they are anymore. You think I ought to throw them away? Burn them? Well, I hope you all have a good day and don't have any catastrophes, and stay hydrated. And oh, I gotta go let the chickens out. So we'll talk to you after a bit. One thing I wanted to show you guys is I've got a nest up here, and they've been nesting for the last 2 or 3 years. I call them barn swallows. Whoop, she just left. Yeah, she's going across the road. We'll get a couple bugs, but let's see if there's any eggs in it that she's sitting on while she's gone. It's up here on my front porch. I don't know if I can reach the camera up high enough. My gosh, she does have some eggs, doesn't she? That's pretty cool. Well, I guess I'll leave it alone. Yeah, she's been sitting on them eggs. Last year I found an egg laying on the floor of the front porch, broken. So I don't know. And then they disappeared. So I don't know how long it takes for them babies to take flight. But another thing I wanted to show you is Miss Linda got a bird bath yesterday. She's got it sitting out here. We really enjoy watching the birds. So, got a blue jay flying here. We got bird feeders out here. We could sit in a chair inside the house and watch them. We've had a bald eagle in the area, and I haven't seen him for about the last week, but it'll fly along the neighbor's pond, and I don't know if it's catching, I think it's catching fish. But last weekend, or the weekend before, he was over there on the bank eating, or she, I don't know which, but, and then took off. But beautiful, beautiful birds. So anyway, it's about 7:30. I gotta go in and get some socks on and my work boots and get up there and get my PTO shaft and go get some ice and some bottled water, get my cooler filled up, get back to the field hopefully here pretty quick. So y'all have a good day. Talk to you after a bit. Well, that's the new one. That's what it's supposed to look like, people. Well, I'll get it slipped on here and we'll go from there. See if we can get this thing fired up again. Well, everybody, we got the new shaft on. Sometimes when you buy a new PTO shaft, you have to cut part of the ends off to get it to fit right. So we had to cut about, I think, 2.5 inches off each end. The reason why you do that is to actually mount the thing, and you don't want to put pressure against the PTO of the tractor. And these are safety chains I gotta hook up or take them off. And I got the pin in the link, the 3-point arm pin back in, and we move the drawbar up. So
I got to pick up some tools and put the cover back on the belt. We got pretty good storms forecasted for tonight. High winds, possible tornadoes supposedly. So we're not going to mow anymore today. That's the worst thing you do is get everything wet. It just takes longer for it to dry out when you rake it. So I got to mow the grass, but first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mow the road ditch with this mower so that I get it back together. So anyway, it's a hot day. We got a nice breeze blowing though. So we'll talk to you after a bit. All right, for those of you that have not been around this type of equipment, this is what you call a disc mower. Those little knives that you see on the end of these discs is what cuts your hay or your grass. Going down the field. There's a gearbox in here. And this is all gear driven by a belt coming off the power takeoff of the tractor. Yeah, and you do not want to be standing in front of that thing going down the road or going down mowing hay. Anyway, yeah, it works pretty good. So anyway, I'll go mow the road ditch, then I guess I'll mow my grass before the storms come in. So yeah, oh my gosh, here's a nice breeze.